Good morning. Today we are going to see what is a Windows 2016 Docker containers. Okay, so this is something a new concept that is introduced in Windows 2016, and you need to understand the first theory what Docker containers. So what is a Docker container? A Docker container is a new concept in Windows 2016. Okay. Earlier, the virtual machines have created many efficiencies within the data center. So we used to have a host where we have like a 3 or 4 operating system or 10-15 operating systems running virtualized into it. Okay, Hyper-V on a Hyper-V. However, each virtual machine running on that host requires a complete operating system. So we just want to run a simple application, okay, and it requires minimum amount of resources, but we have to dedicate an entire operating system, even though that the requirement of that application is just very limited. So this entire operating system that running on the server will consume significant memory, CPU, and storage. Okay, so Microsoft introduced a new concept called Docker container. In contrast to a virtual machine, a Docker container provides a lightweight way to package an application so that it does not need complete virtual machine to run. This container wraps the application with only minimum component it needs to run. This makes container highly modular and portable, just like a shipping container. Okay. So Docker container is a concept where you will create it will create whatever is needed for the application. Okay, it will create a package with whatever that is needed to run that application successfully, including the system tools, runtimes, libraries, code, everything. Okay, and it will package it, wrap it in a container with that application, so that you don't need the entire operating system anymore to run that application. Okay, so you can consider it just like a shipping container. So in a shipping container where you pack everything and you know you ship it. So just like that, for application, it's whatever is needed for that application, it is put into that container, and and allow it to run wherever it wants. So the Docker container wraps a piece of software in a complete file system that contains everything it needs to run: code, runtime, system tools, system libraries, anything you can install on the server. This guarantees that it will always run the same regardless of the environment it's running in. So once you create that container, you can take that container, run it in any environment, because it's whatever is needed to run that application is already there in that container, and it no longer need anything to run. So in a single virtual machine, you can run like 100 Docker containers, and the application will take minimum amount of resources, and it will keep on running. Earlier, for each application, you need one virtual machine. Now, in a single virtual machine, you can run hundreds of Docker containers. Okay, irrespective of worrying about the requirements, because everything is needed also already there in that Docker container. Okay. So today we will see how to create these Docker containers, how to create the Docker container images, and how to remove a Docker container, and how to remove a Docker container images. So this is my host. It's a Windows Core system. Okay. So we will be mostly using PowerShell, since it's a Windows uh, core system. Okay. So first I will type PowerShell to start the PowerShell. So this will launch the PowerShell and give me the PowerShell console. So you can see that the console has prompt has changed from C Windows Administrator to PS C Windows Administrator. So this confirms that it's in PowerShell. Okay, now just type ipconfig and see what you're seeing. So here you can see the IP address of the server. So this is the server name, this is the IP address. Okay, 192.168.1.100. This is the gateway. Okay, now let's see how to create a Docker container. So for that you need to use a command called docker. So docker, okay, run, okay, hyphen it space hyphen name, double hyphen name. So docker run hyphen it double hyphen name and give the name of your container. So here the name of the container I want to give it as let's say test demo. Okay, and what will be the base image for this running this application for this container, from where this container will be built, what will be the base operating system, from where I can take all the libraries, runtimes, everything. So we have to give that. So by default it's Windows Core Server Core. Okay, Windows Server Core space command. So this is the command. This command will create a container called test demo, keeping the base as Windows Server Core. Okay, and hit enter. So once it's this commands complete, it will open a new session with required you know uh, C Windows System 32. Now it says that it's in the container. So it used the Windows Core as image and built that container. Okay. So now we are in the newly created container. Okay. Now type again IP config and see what the IP is. You can see it's a different IP. Now export this to c/ip config /txt. So now I have exported it to a text file. If you want to open this, you have to type c ip config .txt. So this will show you that we have stored this uh, you know Docker containers IP information in this file. Okay, now let's type exit. So now you can see we are back to our PowerShell command prompt. So we are outside the container now. So now let's see what are all the Dockers that are available, or the containers, Docker containers that are available. To see that, you have to use the command docker space ps hyphen a. You can see there is only one Docker container. Okay, the image is Windows Server, command is cmd. It was created 2 minutes ago. Okay, and this is the name of the test demo which we gave. This is the container ID of the container. So you can see that our container is successfully created. Now we have to commit this container into image so that we can use it in future. So to do that, to create a container image, you have to use the command docker commit the container name test demo and the image name. So the image name be new test container image. So now we are committing and making sure that this container is stored as an image, and we can use it to create other containers as well. Now if you want to see whether our image is created, docker space images is the command. So you can see the new test container image is created. So earlier we were using the Windows Server core to create our container. Now we can start using this customized new test container image as our base image. Okay, and size is 9.77 GB, because we added some ctext file and all and those things. It's a bit bigger. So now let's create a new container with this our newly created image. Okay, so let's say how to create a new container. You have to use the command docker space it space um, hyphen name space new demo. No, let me give it as test demo 1. Test demo 1. Okay, this is the name of the new container that we're getting, and we are going to use this newly created docker image. So new test container image. I think I missed something. It should be docker run. Okay, docker run space it space hyphen name test demo new container image and command. So now we can see that the new container is created with the image that we newly created. So now if you type c ipconfig.txt, there's a mistake. ipconfig.txt, we can see the old text file which we stored in the ipconfig information which we stored in the image is carried forward to this new container also. So by this way you will create the docker container docker containers and the docker commit container images. So now we will see how to delete a docker container. To do that, use the command docker rm, which is remove the container name. So test demo 1. So I want to remove this container. hit enter, and it will remove the Docker container. Now you also want to remove that image. You have to use Docker RMI. RM means remove, I means image. Okay. What was the name? New uh, container image. I don't remember. Let me see. Docker images. Okay. Now let's remove it. Docker RMI new test container image. So this deleted the our image that we created. You can confirm that using Docker images. So now the image is gone, as you can see. Okay, so this is how you create a container and delete a container and create a image, delete a image. Okay, so I hope this has been useful for you, and thank you for watching.